What's up guys, it's Josh with the Preset Bros, and today I'm going to show you how to make this banging tech house bass right here.
Strip it down.
Alright guys, so that is the sound we'll be working on today, and before we get started, if you don't want to miss out on any of our future content, definitely click that subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you can become a master of your sounds. And without any further ado, let's jump in. Alright guys, so here's the sound, and we're doing a tech house bass today, and so kind of what are we looking for? We're looking for that nice, warm, fat, analog kind of sound, and I'm going to show you exactly how we got it. This is actually a preset from our tech house pack. If you haven't, definitely go check it out. It's amazing for all you tech house producers. So for starters, on oscillator A, we have the basic MCB wavetable at a -3 octave. We only have one voice of unison. I would highly recommend a lot of times, not all the time, but most of the time when you're working on basses, just stick with one voice of unison. When you start to get more than one voice, it might start to sound a little stereo and muddy up that low end. So as far as shaping the sound, I'm using envelope 1 to do that. I went ahead and wanted a more of a plucky sound, so I pulled the sustain knob all the way back. I have the decay knob at 840 milliseconds. I gave it a little bit of a tack because I didn't want any kind of popping sound. As far as automation goes, I am using envelope 2 to go ahead and modulate the cutoff knob on the filter. Now, for a lot of these tech house plucky basses, kind of the bread and butter of any sound is going to be having kind of a gritty wavetable like a saw wave, and then you're going to throw it through some kind of filter, and depending on how tight you want, it could be a 24, which is the tightest curve, or it could be, you know, an 18 or a 12, or kind of whatever you want, however much high end you want to bleed through. In this case, I wanted it more tight, so I went with the 24. And you're going to have a shape that's a little more plucky. Once you do that, you pretty much have the bare bones of most tech house basses. So for LFO 1, I am modulating the fine tune, and you'll notice this when you watch a lot of my videos. This is a awesome trick to add a realistic feature to the sound so it doesn't sound stagnant or digital. It kind of makes the sound come alive and sound a little more analog. I also am modulating the volume, and it is bipolar automation, and again, that's just kind of giving it that real feel. If you think about an actual bass player, when he plucks the bass string, he's not going to hit it at the same velocity every time. There's going to be a difference there. So by having this automation on the level, it kind of keeps it less consistent, and anytime you're less consistent, you step away from that digital sound and you move closer to the analog sound. Next, I have some white noise going on, and this is another secret sauce to getting analog sounds, especially in the tech house bass, is adding that white noise. It just kind of adds that grit to it a little bit and makes it less clean. You'll find this trick a lot in lo-fi as well. If you notice, the sounds sound a little dusty, kind of more background sounding, and that is kind of the goal that we wanted to achieve for this bass as well. Alright guys, as far as effects go, we have a little bit of hyperdimension going on, 7% on the size, not a lot happened, and we could crank this up a little bit. I also have a compressor on. I have the threshold at -18, gave it a little bit of gain boost, the ratio basic settings 4:1. Next I have some distortion, just kind of beef up the sound a little bit, make that bass fat. I have the drive knob on 46%, the mix knob at 44, and then a little EQ just to roll off some of those highs and roll off the very, very lows, probably under 40, yeah, 50 hertz. Anything below, the human ear isn't really going to pick that up, so that's just a little trick to kind of clean up that low end. The last thing I did was I took the velocity right here and I dropped it on the cutoff, and what that's going to do is when I'm working in MIDI and I change the velocity of a note, it's going to trigger how much the cutoff moves, giving it more of a real effect. Back to the analogy of the bass player, when he hits a string, he might not hit it with that same velocity, and that's kind of what we're looking for. And anytime I'm working on a bass sound, I always finish off by clicking that mono button. Very helpful, super easy to forget. And that pretty much wraps up this sound. Alright guys, and here's the final result. All right, guys, so that pretty much wraps up the sound for today. I hope you learned something. I hope you got inspired. I hope you're assembling the fattest tech house track of your life. Be sure to check out the rest of our sounds in our tech house pack. Also, we have a bunch of other packs in all different kind of genres. Whatever you're working in, whatever genre, we have a pack for you. We also have a deal right now where when you buy one of our packs, you do get a free Serum skin. So definitely go check that out. We do have a free download link for this preset down below, so if you would rather just go download it, be sure to do that. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, stay creative.
Strip it down.